Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Tobias and today I'm reviewing the Redragon EISA PRO K686, which is a 96% mechanical keyboard. It has 98 keys and you may have noticed that it looks very similar to the Redragon K687 Penumbra Pro that I previously reviewed. And the layout of the keyboard is identical to the Redragon EISA Max, which I also previously reviewed. The EISA Pro goes for $73 on Amazon and the Redragon website. I'll have both of these links down in the description below in case you want to check them out. Last time I checked, it was on sale on Amazon, so you may want to check that out to see if it's still on sale. And throughout this video, I'm going to be going over the design of the K686. I'll go over all the specs and features, I'll mic up the keyboard and give you guys a sound test, and in the end, I'll give you my final review. So anyways, here's a quick unboxing. As you can see, we have the keyboard itself, a USB-A to USB-C cable, 4 spare switches, a keycap and switch puller, and a sticker sheet. So right off the bat, the dimensions of the EISA Pro are about 15.5 inches long, 5.7 inches wide, and 1.5 inches in height. And like I mentioned earlier, the EISA Pro looks very similar to the Penumbra Pro, however the visuals are basically where the similarities end, because the feel of these two keyboards are very different. And as you may have noticed, there are also some visual differences, such as the EISA Pro doesn't have the RGB lights on the side of the keyboard, and of course the EISA Pro is a larger keyboard with 98 keys compared to the Penumbra Pro, which has 81 keys. The Redragon EISA Pro is also a lot lighter in weight compared to the Penumbra Pro. The EISA Pro is all plastic and weighs just around 2 pounds, while the Penumbra Pro has an aluminum body and weighs 3.5 pounds. However, just like the Penumbra Pro, the EISA Pro has keycaps that have the lettering on the front side. The lettering is transparent so the RGB lights can shine through them. The keycaps are also a gradient from light gray at the top of the keyboard to dark gray at the bottom of the keyboard. Also, just like the Penumbra Pro, the keys have a slight sparkle to them and the body of the keyboard also seems like it has a bit of a sparkle to it. The K686 has a knob that allows you to control your computer's volume, and it also mutes your computer if you push it like a button. This is something that I've seen on quite a few of my mechanical keyboards that I've reviewed. Now I just wanted to mention that if you check the website or the Amazon page, there are different versions of the EISA K686 Pro, and the switches in the keyboard will be different depending on the version of the keyboard that you get. For example, I have the EISA Pro with the side printed PBT keycaps, and this one comes with the custom Leopard L switches. If we take a look at this other EISA Pro SE Anime keyboard, we'll see that it comes with the Hi-Fi custom switches. So I think it's important to keep that in mind if you're choosing between the different versions of the K686. When it comes to the keycaps being blank on top, I kind of mentioned it in my review of the Penumbra Pro how it's actually still really easy to see the type on the front side of the keys. And actually, the only time it's hard to see the type on the keycaps is when you're standing up and looking directly down at the keyboard, or when the RGB lights are off, because the font on the keycaps is transparent. When the RGB lights are off, the letterings just look gray and kind of blend into the color of the keycaps. But those are the only times when I think it's hard to see the lettering on the keycaps, and I do think it does actually look cool how the top of the keycaps are blank. As for the RGB lights, the keys are all backlit as well, and there are 16 different RGB lighting patterns that you can choose from, and they seem to be the same RGB lighting patterns as on most of my other Redragon keyboards. When it comes to the specs and features of the Redragon EISA PRO K686, there are 3 modes of connectivity for your Mac, PC, or other device, including Bluetooth 3.0 and 5.0, a USB-C wired connection, and a 2.4 GHz wireless receiver. You can also connect to 3 different devices at the same time and toggle between them easily. A few of my other mechanical keyboards can also do this, including my Redragon Penumbra Pro and also my Royal Kludge RK688, and I do actually use this feature on a regular basis. So say if you want to connect to a second device, all you need to do is hold FN and 2, then you'll notice the M light above the battery light will start blinking. Then, for example, I can go onto my MacBook Air and go into my Bluetooth settings and connect to BT 5.0 keyboard. The red light on the K686 will stop blinking and it will be connected. I can do the same thing for a third device, except I would press FN and 3 and then connect my third device. If I wanted to toggle between these 3 devices, I would just press FN and 1, 2, or 3. I paired the K686 with my iMac and my MacBook Air and also my iPhone, and I'll do a quick demonstration on how I can toggle between them. Okay guys, so I'm just going to show you a quick example of how I toggle between my 3 devices. So right now I'm typing on my iMac, as you can see. Then I'm going to hit FN and 2 to switch to my MacBook Air, and now I'm going to be typing over here. And then I'm going to click FN and 3 to switch to my iPhone, and now I'm typing on my iPhone. When it comes to the other features on the EISA Pro, if we take a look at the side, we'll see the USB-C port where you can charge the keyboard and also connect it to your computer with the wired connection. There's also a switch where you can choose between the 2.4 GHz wireless connection, off, or Bluetooth. Then there's another switch where you can choose between Mac or Windows. The 2.4 GHz receiver is located on the right side of the keyboard. If we take a look at the bottom of the keyboard, we'll see there are 2 sets of feet that you can fold out to adjust the steepness of the K686. And there's also rubber on the bottom of the keyboard to help stop it from sliding around on your desk. If you're using a Windows computer, you can download the software for the Redragon EISA Pro. And you can edit some custom settings, control the RGB lights, and record custom macros. And to do this, you need to use the keyboard in either USB mode or the 2.4 GHz wireless mode. The software won't work with a Bluetooth connection. The battery in the K686 is a 4000 mAh battery, and to check the battery life, you can hold the FN button and the delete button, and the RGB lights will light up on the keyboard to show the battery life between 1 and 0. For example, if the lights only light up to the number 5, that means you only have about 50% battery. Inside the keyboard there are 5 layers of noise dampening material, and this keyboard does sound pretty quiet, soft, and kind of creamy. It sounds totally different from the other mechanical keyboards that I have. Right now I'm going to mic the keyboard up and show you how it sounds when I'm typing. To me, this keyboard sounds very quiet compared to the other mechanical keyboards that I've reviewed. It feels and sounds very padded. There is a very slight clicky sound, but nothing compared to the other keyboards that I've reviewed. It's very creamy sounding. The Redragon website actually describes it as having silky, creamy, and cozy typing feedback. And I think that's a great description for how this keyboard actually feels and sounds. Because not only does it sound creamy, but it also feels creamy when you're typing, which is something that I haven't experienced with my other mechanical keyboards. I would say so far this is the creamiest and quietest mechanical keyboard that I own. As for my final review, taking the $73 price tag into consideration, I think this keyboard is totally worth it. It has a very similar look and vibe to the Redragon Penumbra Pro, which is a little bit more expensive at $90. However, the EISA Pro is a 96% keyboard for if you want a fuller layout. It may not have the premium feel of the aluminum chassis that the Penumbra Pro has, but it does have all the same features. And I definitely like the feel of this keyboard. It has a very dampened feel to it. And I'm really considering using the EISA Pro as my main keyboard, at least for a while. For the past month or so, I've been using the Penumbra Pro as my main keyboard, and I do really like that keyboard. It has kind of like a luxury or fancy feel to it, but I realized that it's kind of hard to move around just because of the weight of it. And initially, I really liked how it was a really heavy keyboard, but I kind of realized that I tend to move stuff around on my desk a lot, and a lighter keyboard like the EISA Pro would be more practical. And just like pretty much all of the Redragon keyboards that I've already reviewed, I really love the RGB lights. I think they look great, and I think the EISA Pro is just a really cool looking keyboard. And also keep in mind that if you want to download the Redragon software for the EISA Pro, you will need a Windows computer because the file is a .exe file. I do have a Windows laptop, and that's how I was able to show you the Redragon software earlier. But anyways, in the end, I think the Redragon EISA Pro is a really cool keyboard for a great price. I think it looks cool, and I love how it feels and sounds. And this is going to be my main keyboard going forward, at least for a while. If you feel like going down the rabbit hole, I'll put the link to my mechanical keyboard review playlist down in the description below in case you want to check it out. And once again, I'll have the links for if you want to purchase the EISA Pro down in the description below as well. And if you did like this video, or if it helped you out, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. If you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll go ahead and put my handle right here, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace!